Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us once again. Today, we have with us an art filming expert and an officer of the Vedic Dhamma Sansthan to discuss about the Kalki avatar. So, how does the wisdom that life is impermanent, which Gurudev often shares, function as Kalki's revelation, freeing people from attachments that fuel adharma? Yes, Jai Gurudev, thank you for joining us once again. Gurudev frequently reminds us that everything in this world, wealth, relationships, even our body is transient. This isn't to breed detachment in a cold sense, but to free people from obsessive attachments that becomes the breeding ground for adharma in Kali Yuga. Much suffering comes from clinging, wanting relationships to be permanent, fearing loss of reputation, or hoarding wealth for far beyond needs. Such clinging often pushes people into dishonesty, manipulation, or violence to protect what they fear to lose. When Gurudev gently says, "See, everything is changing," it is Kalki's insight piercing ignorance. A businessman once confessed that after truly absorbing this, he stopped unethical practices aimed at securing permanent success, understanding instead that genuine effort with the dharma is all that matters. Outcomes are fleeting anyway. Thus, this wisdom releases people from greed and possessiveness, which are subtle roots of so many societal problems. Accepting impermanence, we naturally live lighter, love purer, and make choices aligned with higher principles, knowing no situation is forever. This is Kalki's silent revolution, transforming minds from grasping and fearing to serving joyfully with the hearts anchored in the timeless. Now, how do programs like Navchetna Shibir, which reach rural and underserved areas, act as Kalki's compassionate march, uplifting dharma where neglect prevailed? Navchetna Shibir is one of the Art of Living's simplest yet most powerful grassroots programs, taking foundational breath practices, basic stress relief wisdom, and moral clarity to villages, slums, and tribal belts. These are places where often modern progress has overlooked basic human needs, leading to frustration, alcoholism, communal tensions, and quiet despair. I have visited several such shibers where villagers began the day suspicious or resigned, only to end it laughing, singing bhajans, and discussing how to cooperate better as a community. This is Kalki's gentle yet unstoppable march, disbanding a dharma born from ignorance, inertia, and hopelessness. Gurudev emphasizes that transformation isn't only for the urban elite. True dharma revival must include every corner of society. After one such camp, a village in Jharkhand where rival groups had long-standing grudges started pooling resources to fix roads together. Women reported husbands drinking less. Children formed new bonds across caste lines. Thus, these programs are not just workshops, they are Kalki's mobile schools of inner strength and unity. Unity and quietly restoring dignity and shared purpose in forgotten places, making sure Dharma flourishes evenly across the land. Now, how does Gurudev's statement, whatever you resist persist, act like Kalki's psychological strategy dissolving inner wars before they create outer conflicts? Jagudev, yes, many people unwittingly fuel their inner turmoil by constant resistance, resenting their circumstances, supporting uncomfortable emotions, or fiercely trying to change others. Gurudev's insight, whatever you resist persists, is a stunning psychological sword. It exposes how resistance tightens problems instead of resolving them. A woman once shared how she fought her anxiety daily, telling herself, "I must not be anxious," only to watch it grow. After attending an art filming program, she started observing her sensations with compassion rather than resisting them. The anxiety lost its grip, and she laughed. It was like Kalki cut it away without a fight. This wisdom also prevents societal discord. Communities that aggressively oppose one another without understanding often escalate conflicts. Gurudev teaches acceptance not as passive surrender to injustice but as clarity that first accepts reality, then acts wisely. Thus, this teaching dismantles inner wars before they harden into harmful external battles. By accepting and observing, people stop feeding negativity, which eventually and naturally dissolves, making way for intelligent dharmic responses. In this way, what you resist persists becomes Kalki's profound strategy. diffusing ignorance by sheer awareness, preventing adharma from taking root. Now, how does the simple act of daily gratitude, as encouraged by Gurudev, operate as Kalki's secret key, transforming discontent into contentment and service? Jayagurudev, yes, Gurudev often says, a complaining mind cannot be spiritual. Gratitude flips this state, immediately revealing how much we have received regardless of temporary lacks. In Kali Yuga, entitlement and chronic dissatisfaction fuel subtle adharma, jealousy, deceit, and transactional relationships. When people start acknowledging blessings, a healthy body, supportive friends, a fresh air, they become humble and joyful. I remember a young man in Mumbai plagued by career envy after a basic program where he was asked to list 10 daily gratitudes. His entire orientation shifted. He said, instead of scheming to outdo others, I began helping my colleagues. That is Kalki at work, transforming restless ambition into cooperative growth. Gurudev explains that gratitude lifts prana, immediately making one's energy feel luminous. Such people naturally draw positive opportunities and become anchors of calm wherever they go. Over time, gratitude evolves into seva. When you see how blessed you are moved to serve others. Thus, the simple and humble service is Kalki's secret key, cutting through entitlement and bitterness, ensuring hearts stay light, receptive, and effortlessly aligned with Dharma. Now, how do Vedic Dhammas instances, special homas for world peace, act as Kalki's powerful cosmic interventions, purifying not just individuals but entire atmospheres? Jagadeviya's Vedic Dhamma Sansthan conducts large-scale homas like Rudra Homa, Sudarshan Homa, and Vishnu Sahasranama Homa dedicated to Loka Kalyanam, welfare of all beings. These aren't mere symbolic acts, they are ancient technologies to cleanse collective karmic residues that breed adharma in societies. During such homas, specific mantras and offerings realign subtle energies in the environment, removing obstacles not visible to the naked eye. I recall after a massive Rudra Homa performed in drought hit Tamil Nadu, unexpected rains nourished parched fields. Locals felt it was divine grace. This is Kalki's cosmic intervention, purifying atmospheres so dharmic forces flourish. Gurudev often says nature responds to vibrations. When thousands gather with focused intention for peace, chanting powerful Vedic mantras, it's like installing vast protective shields over regions, preventing negativity from consolidating. Over time, crime rates drop, communities cooperate more easily, even long standing disputes resolve. Thus, these homas serve as Kalki's aerial brigades, working beyond human comprehension, subtly dismantling large scale adharma and restoring natural harmony. In doing so, they ensure dharma isn't just an individual affair but a collective, vibrantly sustained reality. Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev. So, now how does the approach of seva without expecting recognition, which Gurudev constantly embodies, act as Kalki's final test to dissolve ego's last fortress? Yeah, Gurudev, yes, Gurudev often says the joy of service is lost the moment you look for appreciation. This is profound. Even well meaning people slip into subtle adharma by tying their word to applause or gratitude. When seva is done purely without expecting thanks or recognition, it purifies intentions, completely cutting egos as last thread. I have seen volunteers tirelessly organize vast free medical camps or spend days in flood relief, never seeking mention. In satsang, Gurudev might acknowledge others, yet they smile joyfully unbothered. This is Kalki's final test. Can we act from love alone beyond craving appreciation? When seva becomes unconditional, it transforms the server more than the served. Such people radiate humility and quiet power. They uplift atmosphere simply by being present, for they are free from the small minded calculus of what will I get. Gurudev explains this is the deepest spiritual maturity where even dharmic acts are not clung to. Thus, selfless service stands as Kalki's ultimate sword, dissolving the ego's last fortress, ensuring all actions flow from purity, joy, and alignment with the highest cosmic intelligence. Now, how does participating in Guru Puja phase 1 and phase 2 courses or chanting Guru Paduka Stotram align the heart with the Kalki's mission by anchoring in an absolute reverence? Jai Gurudev, in Vedic understanding, the Guru is not just a person, it is the living principle of enlightenment, the remover of darkness. When people perform Guru Puja or chant Guru Paduka Stotram, they consciously dissolve personal arrogance, opening to divine guidance. Gurudev emphasizes that without humility, knowledge turns into dry arrogance, breeding subtle adharma like judgment or devotion. A devotee once shared that after learning Guru Puja phase 1 and phase 2, he felt tears wash over years of stubborn pride. This softer surrender aligns perfectly with Kalki's mission. Humility is what lets Kalki's sword of truth penetrate deepest. It is no accident that all incarnations uphold the Guru's principles of Krishna with Sandipani, Rama with Vashishta. These rituals tune our hearts to the frequency where dharma becomes effortless, not imposed. They also invoke a powerful protective energies that steer lives away from ego driven pitfalls. Thus, honoring the Guru is like handling Kalki, the key to our inner kingdom, allowing ignorance, pride, and resistance to be swept away, ensuring our journey remains aligned with righteousness and luminous wisdom. Jai Gurudev, so how does Gurudev's example of boundless compassion, even toward those who wrong him, embody Kalki's highest standard of destroying adharma with love, not hatred? Jai Gurudev, yes, Gurudev's compassion is striking even when criticized or misrepresented. He remains unshaken, responding with patience or humor. This is Kalki's highest refinement, not simply defeating adharma through force, but with a love so vast it absorbs hostility. I have seen critics who initially came to disrupt art of living events end up volunteering after experiencing his unconditional warmth. Once a journalist who wrote misleading articles was later found helping serve meals at an ashram event. Gurudev's gentle acceptance dismantled his cynicism. This is Kalki's supreme strategy. It renders hostility powerless. By refusing to reciprocate hate, Gurudev often says, if someone throws stones, build a bridge, not a wall. This approach cuts adharma at its deepest root. Hatred, which perpetuates endless karmic cycles. When love persists where anger is expected, it transforms enemies into allies. Over time, such radical compassion spreads, creating societies where forgiveness, not vendetta, becomes natural. Thus, Gurudev demonstrates that the ultimate Kalki is not just a destroyer of wrongdoing, it is a redeemer of hearts, ensuring dharma prevails through expansion of love, not through the mere elimination of opponents. Now, how does understanding the concept of samsara as a school prevent victim mentality, aligning perfectly with Kalki's mission to cultivate inner mastery over circumstances? Yes, Gurudev often says the world is a school, every situation is here to teach you something. When this sinks in, it eradicates the victim mentality so common in Kali Yuga, where people blame circumstances or others endlessly. Seeing life as a learning field transforms challenges into opportunities to build resilience, patience, or courage. I met a man who suffered repeated business failures. Earlier, he drowned in self pity, but after an art of living program, he began reflecting, what is life trying to teach me here? This shift made him calmer, wiser, ultimately leading to a stable ethical enterprise. This is Kalki's psychological reformation, transforming passive blame into active dharmic engagement. It ensures external hardships don't mutate into internal adharma like bitterness or deceit. Instead, life's difficulties own virtues needed to uphold righteousness. Over time, such people become sturdy pillars of society, unshaken by storms, guiding others by example. Thus, viewing samsara as a divine curriculum is Kalki's method of cultivating inner warriors who can face any outer circumstances without losing alignment to truth. Finally, how does the very idea of Kalki interpreted through Gurudev's living wisdom and these spiritual practices offer humanity its ultimate hope for a dharmic renaissance? Yes, the prophecy of Kalki isn't merely a distant myth, it's a living principle activated whenever individuals choose adharma over dharma, love over fear, or service over selfishness. Gurudev often says, don't wait for someone to come on a white horse. Become that light through Sudarshan Kriya, meditation, pranayama, Padma Sadhana, Gayatri Japa, pujas, homas, wisdom sessions. and Sanyam program of level 1 and level 2, and chanting Guru Puja phase 1 and phase 2 daily. People clear internal darkness daily. This is Kalki's breath moving through them. We have witnessed entire villages transformed by these practices. Crime drops, communal bonds flourish, environmental care becomes natural when thousands live with such awareness. A collective dharmic renaissance is inevitable. Thus, the idea of Kalki becomes humanity's deepest hope, not through external apocalypse, but through an inner blossoming that sweeps away ignorance. Gurudev's teachings, combined with ancient Vedic rituals, provide practical, immediate tools to anchor this hope into lived reality. Over time, this awakens a civilization where righteousness is enforced but joyfully chosen, fulfilling Kalki's promise not just in scriptures but in our very neighborhoods, offices, families, and hearts. Jagadev.